And if Emerson's not coming back, what about pushing Eric Dyer out as a right back? So he comes out of that way of that centre.
I know where you're coming from. I just feel at the moment, can I be honest with you, Lee, he's so erratic that I don't know if I trust him in any position. That might sound really harsh to say that, but I think Dyer...
To get him totally out of the team, you do need like a Roy Eldon to come back.
Well, I think if you're going to push him out, I'll push him to the right-hand side, then I'll push him even further, then as crackers, and I'll push him onto the Tottenham Hour station and take him left back in the changing room.
He'll end up in the stands again.
Yeah, I don't mean to be rude to the guy. I feel another one there that's kind of reached their time period at Tottenham. And the actual quite frightening thing is that we're hearing these rumours that, my God, if he's going to be given a new contract, the right time to announce it. I don't mean to sound rude. I don't think there is a right time to announce Eric Dyer getting a new contract at Tottenham. That, for me, again, just absolutely typifies what is wrong with this football club. That a guy like that, with no disrespect in the nicest possible way, because I will say this about Dyer, and this is not to cause any grief here. I do know he cares, and it hurts when there's a bad performance, but we can't be a charity. You know, we're a football club that ultimately does have ambition, and if you want to have ambition and you want to, you know, be looking at the big things and competing and attracting the top managers, you can't have Eric Dyer in your team. You really, really can't. So look, I just hope the club make the right decision, and obviously thank Dyer for his service and let him go in the summer. That's just me being really, really honest with you. To move it on to Spurs' equaliser, Matt, come over to you. Before that, we saw Danjuma and Davis come on, respectively, with Porro and Perisic. It was Kane actually with another lovely, perfect ball to the back post. And this time, Sonny can't miss, despite scuffing his shot. Spurs is over the level. It was Son's 13th goal of the season. And what I actually liked from Son was he actually grabbed the ball with intent there to go and grab the winner, which was the right mentality, and to not be sitting there celebrating a draw from coming 2 down.
Yeah, I love that as well. I think he ran over to Mason as well to celebrate the goal with him too, which was really nice. But the assist from Harry Kane, he made it look so easy, and I think people are overlooking the assist a little bit because of how easy he made it look. But it's a phenomenal ball, and he did the same thing 10 minutes earlier when he beat a few men in the middle and played another brilliant ball to the back post of Son, which he initially scuffed. But yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the two of them link up like that, so it was nice to see. I think they equal the record for the most times that one player has assisted another player. It's 24 times now that Kane has assisted Son. So kind of rolling back the years a little bit with that one. But yeah, at that point, I'll be honest, I felt we could have gone on and won the game. Yeah, like I said, kind of on the top of the show, I was a bit annoyed when Mason made that change to bring Tanganga on for Son, but that's probably why he's in the dugout, because it paid off in the end. But yeah, it was just classic Spurs over the last few years with that goal. A bit of help from Malacia not knowing how to defend. He's probably watching a bit of Perisic in the first half. But yeah, good Spurs goal.
It was. I mean, Lee, coming around to you now. Son has scored in 4 consecutive home games. It's his 13th goal of the season. It's 9th in the Premier League. Look, it certainly has been a lot better in the second half of the season for him. Son has also now scored 144 goals for Tottenham than Jermaine Defoe, actually. So he's only 5 players in the club's history to have scored more. I just wonder, going back to Matt's point there, Lee, if you were disappointed that we did see Tanganga come on for Son, because let's be honest and say, if that sub was under Stellini or Conte, we'd be quite rightly fuming. I mean, it paid off and Spurs got the point. I mean, the point really, in retrospect, between a point and not getting anything, I don't think it makes a massive difference. Maybe to morale it does. Of course it does. We've come from 2-0 down. But in the grand scheme of things, do you think Son should have remained on the pitch there for the last 10 minutes or so to try and grab the winner? He's just scored.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It's just such a strange one because, you know, probably 5 minutes before we score, most of us in the WhatsApp group were saying we need to get Danjuma on for Sonny. And if he'd have brought Danjuma on for Sonny, we'd have just been going as, you know, it's an attacking scenario. What he actually did was he brought Tanganga on for Sonny, but actually Tanganga went in to replace Kulusevski, who had dropped in as a right wing back. And then Tanganga started to play there, pushed Kulusevski back up so Danjuma could play up in Sonny's position. So he didn't actually go defensive. He actually just stayed with a 3-4-3. So we didn't go at, like, he didn't bring a defender on instead of an attacker, because he brought Danjuma on, who basically replaced Sonny. Does that make sense? So, but I hear what you're coming from. I mean, you know, for us to have had them on the pitch, again, I think, like I said earlier in the show, I think they learnt from Bournemouth. because from Bournemouth we had about 4,000 people up top on the pitch, and we got caught and we lost the game. So, you know, if we'd have done that tonight, but then that's the bravery, that's the risk, that's the fine margins, isn't it, between do we push, do we not push? There was a moment in the game, I actually thought it was a good moment. There was a moment in the game that Kane went down, and I think he went down from game management and taking the sting out of stuff. And I actually think that that actually took out, that kind of gave the bit of impetus back to Manchester United in the end. I don't think we created a chance after that moment. And when Danjuma came on, he's been electric coming on for us before, but he didn't be able to affect the game at all, did he? So in hindsight, you probably could have said, yeah, that was a bad sub, and maybe keep Sonny on because he might have got a breakaway and scored the winner.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I suppose as many have kind of alluded to, the fact is that Ryan wanted to have some form of a positive result. You know, we've come from 2-0 down. We obviously, look, as you know, from an aspect where we really want to make sure we have something to build on now. Between obviously this to Liverpool, maybe you can understand why he's made those substitutions. As Lee said, look, maybe it's not as negative as what some may make out due to the position of him. Mason said after the game, just in context of his post-match, it's been difficult after Sunday as the manner of the defeat wasn't nice. The most important thing now and to the end of the season is for a team to act. Small details can change results. The most important thing to me is we'll always be together. We created many chances. The second half, we kept pushing, had clear openings, and maybe we got the second goal earlier. We could have kept pushing. He said that I've always remained quite consistent with this group of players, and I always will. You have to sit together in every moment. If you want to be a team, regardless of what is happening on the pitch, you have to sit together and fight for each other. When you do that, football is football. Results take care of themselves. But to see a team that was working for each other, and I felt our fans must have seen a team that was fighting for each other and running for each other, it's important in football. Probably the most important thing. We invested so much energy into getting that scoreline at 2-2. I felt like we were almost acting a little emotionally to try and get that third. And sometimes that's great, but at the same time, I felt there were a couple of moments when we looked a bit leggy and a bit open unnecessarily. So we changed it a little bit, still try and win the game, but at the same time, recognise the game and the moment we were in. That's down to the mental health in relation to Son and his mental strength. The top players that put things behind them, and Sonny kept making the runs, believing the ball would come to him, and he seemed very pleased with the goal in the second half. And I think that Ryan speaking from the heart there, I think it makes it very, very clear. The most important thing was to stop the rot, not to get beat, and to have some form of a positive result going into Sunday.